I was upset because everybody wasn't gonna see the full documentary. You know what I mean? We never got, obviously that was, what was that, part two? So that was part two, so, you know, growing up and all that, and then, you know, obviously the ending of the whole thing, I wanted everybody to check it out, so obviously everybody got to wait. But this documentary was like confirmation for me. It was confirmation to show everybody that the devil is a sucker. He's a sucker. He's a sucker and he can't fuck with me. He's a liar. He's a coward. He's a weenie. He's a wimp. He's a shrimp. You know what I mean? He's a loser. You know what I mean? Like, you know, as powerful as he is, he never wins. He always come in, you know, he always on God's heel, but he never win. He always in second place. He never win. You know what I mean? He manipulate. He used the weak. He used the people that don't believe in God, the people that don't believe in a high being. You know what I mean? He's a coward. You know what I mean? And I wanted this to be a gift to not only, you know, I know it's so cliche when everybody talk about guys like us, you know, we role models, we always supposed to be role models to the kids. You know, man, I had situations like, you know, the last, one of the last book signings that I went to, a lady came to me and said, "You saved my son's life, you know, he beat cancer because of you." And I was like, you know, damn, like I don't have the cure to cancer, you know what I mean? Like, and she was like, you know, nah, like, you know, I asked him, like, what would Allen Iverson do, you know, if he had cancer? He would fight, wouldn't he? She's like, yeah, Allen Iverson would fight. And she said he fought, and he beat him. You know what I mean? This thing was like, for me, you know, to inspire people. This was to motivate. It was like I'm an open book, man. A lot of that shit that y'all saw in that documentary, I'm embarrassed about it, obviously. You know what I mean? The mistakes I've made, the ups and downs, my turbulent lifestyle, my turbulent life. But I felt like, you know, besides the basketball part of everything, it's a gift that I have to be an open book. It's a gift to share those things. And that was just, I mean, y'all ain't seen shit yet. But, you know, just, it's not just for kids, my life and the gift that I have. You know what I mean? It's for, it don't have an age limit on who you can inspire and who you can motivate and who lives you can touch. I have so many guys come to me, said, "Bro, you saved my life, man. You know what I mean? I heard about your story. I got out of the penitentiary and I changed my life and I'm doing this and I'm doing that." Like, you know, all kinds of stories that I hear. And, you know, Tawana used to always tell me, "Why do you always do this? Why do you always stress, you know, how people are, how they treat you? Why, you know, why does it bother you so much?" And I was like, you know, that's not a talent that I have. You know, I'm emotional. You know, the people that I love can hurt me easily. You know what I mean? But what my talent is and what I can do and the gift that I do have is to share my stories, to share my life. So maybe, you know, some people don't have to die. They don't have to go to jail for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? Some people don't have to feel that life is over. You know, Allen Iverson used to fall, get back up, brush yourself off, and keep on going. Allen Iverson's still standing. You know what I mean? And that's important to me. You know what I mean? And you know, you see all these stories about my friends, and you know, I just did the book tour in Atlanta last night, and you know, T.I. was moderating the whole thing, and I was telling all these terrible stories about the friends that I have, you know what I mean, and how, you know, how they turned out. Like, I got my ass whooped for bringing my posse with me and the guys from home with me. And if you think about it, the bad and the sad part about all of that, ain't none of them in here. I went through all that, got my ass stealing from me. You know what I mean? Just doing all kinds of shit to me that friends don't do. You know what I mean? Broke my heart. These are, you know, guys, you know, they were never like Ra. They were never who Ra was. You know what I mean? And, you know, it just broke me, and I was like, damn, I can share this experience with guys, because most of the time we with our friends more than we with our parents. We with our friends all the time. Like one bad friend can be one fatal night. You know what I mean? When it comes to these guys, you trust them. They know where you live. They know your every move. You know what I mean? Your friends can be envious. They can be jealous. You know what I mean? You know, all of the shit that I went through with all of my friends, and taking care of them, and, you know, showing them the world, and paying their rent, and paying their child support. You know what I mean? Like that, doing things for their mom. They coming to me on Christmas Eve. God, everybody know that Christmas is on the 25th of December every year. But I'm coming to Chuck for it, not for half of it, all of it. You know what I mean? And then we throw that shit at Chuck, and it's his heart. You know what I mean? You know he ain't gonna let his nephews and his nieces down. You know what I mean? And like, and T.I. said to me, he was like, yo, man, you always talking about the shit that your friends did to you. Man, they really did a number on you, man. And they did, because I love them so much. And these are the stories that I can share. And these, when I get on these platforms, that I can share with these young dudes, you know what I mean? So they don't have to make the same mistakes that I made. Obviously, I came out unscathed, but it could have easily went left. You know what I mean? I try to tell my kids all the time, why do you have to learn the hard way? I did that for you. You understand? I'm sharing these stories, but we, as now, with our generation, all this shit you said about Allen Iverson and how he inspired so many people and everybody wanted to be like him, I'm corny to my kids. You know what I mean? And I had to get that off my chest. And me and this man right here, just a wonderful, beautiful talent. And, you know, God sent this man to me for us to give this gift to the world. Everything in this thing is not peaches and cream. By me being who I am, all the money, all the fortune, all the fame, you know what I mean? Everything. It's another side to that. It's another side to that. You would not, well, a lot of people want all of the glamour and the glitz and all of that. You cannot live to be an Allen Iverson. You cannot, it's different for me than you. Every day I walk out of that house, it's an adventure. Navigating through this world, walking out of that house every day. That's why it's important to have a peaceful house. Because when I come outside, I gotta come outside as AI. I don't come outside as Chuck no more. The world see me as AI. The world wants your time. Right now, it's their time. It's never your time when you walk out of the house. You belong to the world. And it's hard to navigate that. It's hard to tell your fans no sometimes. You know what I mean? When I'm feeding my daughter. Not right now. And then they go crazy on, bitch, fuck you, and I don't give a fuck. You ain't Kobe Bryant anyway. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant better than you anyway. Damn, I thought you go from being a fan, to me telling you no, to an all-out war. You know what I mean? And it's like, these are the stories, these are the gifts that I have by my ups and downs and the things that I went through in my life. I want to give it to the world. I want to, and just think about it. I may save one life. I may save one person's life by them hearing my story, hearing my truth. And I gotta live the truth, because it's hard to tell the truth if you're running around this motherfucker living a lie. You know what I mean? I trust in God, I believe in God, I trust him, I get in the car with him, whether it's a Bentley or a Pinto. I get in the car with him, I let him drive it, I get in the passenger seat. Wherever he take me, I never question him. I'm going on that ride with him, and we're gonna deal with the consequences. And that's it.
And Shaq, when you talking to him about why did you want to be involved as a producer? What did Allen do for you?
Because you know, we live in a world where people can kind of navigate a story for you. They call it viral. And the stuff that was being said about it, not the stuff that I saw. I saw an incredible young man. I saw a mama's boy like myself. I saw a guy that took care of his people. I saw a guy who played with reckless abandonment. A guy with a big heart. I've always had respect for him. I was telling the media out there today that it's only a small amount of people that can come in their rookie year and make an impact. He was one of those guys. And we've always had, you know, respect for each other. So when I reached out to him and said, hey, I would like to be part of the documentary that tells your story and we want to hear from you. If you type all this stuff about our lives, I never heard from them. So they were telling me something different, but I knew something different. I knew a fine young man. Listen, we're all similar, we all come from similar circumstances, we all make similar mistakes, but you know, the imprint he left on the league, it's all in. You know, he actually taught me to be myself. Because, you know, I come from a disciplinary background where you get in trouble, you get fucked up. So I never wanted to really get in trouble, but, you know, my uncle Jerome used to be like, hey, you need to wear the suit. Man, I don't want to wear no goddamn suit. You know, when he came in himself not wearing a suit, I was like, good, somebody else is on, you know, saying, I'm not wearing no suit. So he was himself, he was genuine, one of the greatest people I know, and I just love him, and thank you for letting me be a part of this. Like, I didn't know you was Island Escobar. I just got one question. How much was the keys going
I didn't get nowhere near that part.
No, it seemed like they didn't even tell the whole story. I didn't even know that. I didn't know.
I ain't never even got to a half
Yeah, you
hour.
did.
Wow.
You did. I was
I don't like that.
It's a whole story. Why don't they look like me? Don't man.
Alan, I remember when we first watched this together, you said, you got everybody here I love, man. And I think that was so important to really make this truthful. Just for you, like, how was it to watch your mother, your sister, your father, your uncles, everybody in here that really knows the truth of you?
I was prepared for the night. You know what I mean? The first time I watched it, I was in the theater, and it's 3 hours long, right? And I cried for like maybe 2.5 hours of it. You know what I mean? I kept walking out of the theater. They had to wait on me to get myself together to come back in, and cause it's different, man. Like, you think you know, but you don't know. Understand? Like, I know my mom know me, and she know what I've been through in my life. But it's totally different when you hear her tell you how she felt on camera, how it affected, certain things affected her. You know, when you hear my homeboys and they talk about what they talk about, my uncles, you know what I mean, talk about their experiences and how they felt when certain instances happened in my life. You hear my little sister, you know what I mean, talk the way she talked. It's a different feeling, man, because you think you know. It's just like, you know, people think they know my story, but they hear sound bites. You know what I mean? Different interviews. Some nights I could have lost the game. You know what I mean? And I'm upset. So an interview can go terrible, or after a win, I'm happy. You understand? So, and then you do certain interviews along the way, and there's a time limit on it, or they don't touch certain topics or whatever. And with this, you know what I mean, to hear my family, and you know, the times that they were scared from me. You know what I mean? Where you know, when my mom went up to Georgetown, you know, I'm recruited by everybody in the country. You know what I mean? Everybody in the land. And that incident happened at bowling alley, and now I don't have no recruits. You know what I mean? I'm not recruited by no one. You know what I mean? And she go up to Georgetown and she said, I need you to take my son. You know what I mean? I need you to save his life. Because either he gonna die in these streets or he going to jail for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? And she begged him to take me.